In today's video, I built my very own candy store in Bloxburg. Hey glossettes, welcome back. How are you guys doing today? Now it's day 5 of Glossmas, and in today's video we're going to be building a candy store in my Bloxburg city, Los Angeles. Yes, I've read the comments. I'm giving you another Los Angeles video. It's been a while. But before we get on to building, of course, we need to go and see who is behind door number 5 on the Glossmas advent calendar. As per usual, if you want to skip to where the video begins, there's a timestamp on screen now, but if we go to door number 5 here, the glossette we have today is Vix. And this is because Vix made me this GFX here of my Queen Glossie avatar, and it's very pink. It's adorable. I love it so much, so thank you so much, Vix, and welcome to the Glossmas advent calendar. Anyways, we are going to start building. Let me get into build mode here, and honestly, I don't have a huge plan for this. So if you look in here, I have kind of started working out a layout, and the only thing I really know for sure that I want to do is I want this back wall to be very similar to, you know, like old sweet shops with all the jars on the wall. That's kind of the vibe we're going for back here. I also want this to be a gumball machine. So a few of you may remember in my gingerbread house I did a few days ago, we built this like gumball machine lamp, so I really want to add a gumball machine in here too. And then for the rest of the store, obviously we are going to have some form of candy display, but I don't know how crazy I want to do this. I don't know if we're going to go like full Willy Wonka or it's going to be kind of very realistic. We're just going to have to see, honestly. And for the exterior, I also have absolutely no clue. So what I think we're going to do is we are just going to start with the kind of counter area first. Let me just get a counter out for comparison for the height. Okay, I'm going to make my custom counter here. Now I actually have a reference in mind for this, so this is a very niche reference. Okay, I'll be so surprised if even like 5 of you know what this is, but basically, as we all know by now, I'm from England, right? I'm from Northern England, and in Northern England there is this museum called Beamish. Now Beamish isn't what you're thinking. It's not like an actual museum that's kind of like inside a building. It's basically a whole entire town that is a museum, and the whole town is set in like Victorian times, and they have like a 1950s area now, and it is genuinely the coolest thing. So pretty much it's like this whole town. There's like different areas of the town. There's houses, there's like a mine, there's a school, there's a bank, there's like a bakery, a sweet shop, which we're going to talk about in a second. There's like a farm, garages, there's trams and buses, like very old style ones that you can get around the museum. There's now a cinema in there, there's a hospital. Like there's so much, I couldn't even tell you all of it. Like it's a full on whole village, but it's literally like they picked up a Victorian village and just put it there, and it's been around for years. Like I remember in school up here, what you normally do is they take you to Beamish on a school trip, and then you go to the actual Victorian school and you have to write on like chalk and slate and stuff, and it's honestly just so cool. I've been going to Beamish for years, but they obviously have like a classic sweet shop, so I'm kind of like channeling that. They have all the jars on the wall and stuff, and I'm kind of in my head thinking about Beamish. It's so cool though, because you can go to the back of the sweet shop and you can watch them make the sweets. Like honestly, Beamish is the coolest thing ever. If you live in Northern England and you haven't been to Beamish, then you should absolutely go. It's just so cool. I feel like it's getting more popular now because I keep seeing TikToks about people like going to Beamish and doing Beamish vlogs, and I feel like I need to do that. It feels like my little like niche hidden thing is suddenly becoming mainstream. Is this how people felt about Addison Rae? I'm trying to make like a very old style counter right now, like a little detailed one, but I also kind of want to have some very cool details in here. Like I think I'm gonna somehow make the shelves into a very like lollipop style. I don't know, I want it to be cool as well. I might change this wood color later, but I'm just gonna leave it like this for now. Oh my gosh, wait, I need to figure out how to make sweet jars. So if I want the jars, we don't really have any jars in the game except the ones that already have stuff in. So we have like all of these, but obviously I can't put candy in there because there's like sand or whatever that is. So what I'm thinking is there's a hack which I forget how to do every single time, but I know if you get the super maker, there's some way you can put something in the can and then you can eat it and you get the plain jar after. So we're gonna probably do like a little, wait, I have it in here, hang on. Also, for some reason Bloxburg seem to have updated the lighting, or there's some sort of bug because every single one of my stores in here is just like so bright. Oh my god, it hurts my eyes. What is going on? Anyways, if you come over here, you can see I actually have one of the jars, and I want to test if I can resize it. Oh no, I can't. Oh my god, wait, how am I gonna do an empty jar? Those ones are too small. Wait a second. Oh wait, this is gonna really annoy me. We can make a custom jar out of like basic shapes if we wanted to, but what we're gonna do quickly is the gumball machine. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm so on it today. But we're gonna build a cute little gumball machine. So this is kind of like the base made out of cylinders, and then how I make it is if you grab a semi-transparent sphere. This is kind of like our big glass thing. So we're gonna, oh god, we're gonna add this like here. I feel like this is far too big. Hang on. Does that look good enough? I feel like maybe the base is like too wide. Okay, yeah, I feel like maybe we need to make the base a bit thinner like this. I'm not making this thing, by the way. How on earth am I meant to make a spiral? Okay, let me make this a bit thinner. Anyways, how are you guys doing today? I'm in a great mood, but I feel like it might change very quickly. So the reason I'm in such a great mood right now is we have forecast for snow, okay? Obviously, I'm pre-recording this video, blah, blah, blah. We've been over this. I pre-record half my Christmas content. Right now, it's like mid-November. It is the 18th of November, okay? And we're forecast for snow starting tomorrow. Like, I've been seeing reports for a while that I've kind of been like, oh, some parts of England might get snow, and Scotland, obviously, Scotland always gets it. But it didn't really say much, and like the weather forecast didn't say like, oh, you're getting snow. So I just kind of ignored it because I didn't want to get my hopes up. But now my area has been put on like a yellow warning for like a snowstorm. So I am over the moon, okay? It's meant to start tomorrow and last until Friday now. And if it doesn't snow, I'm gonna be so upset because snow is like my favorite thing in the whole world. And what's even more annoying is, as you guys know, I have a boyfriend who is from Scotland. So because he's like slightly more northern than I am, most of the time he gets all the snow and I don't. I said if it snowed, I was gonna make like a kind of Bloxburg themed snowman, maybe like an elf or something. But anyways, I'm trying to figure out how big to make the balls for the gumball machine. And I feel like if I do these ones, because they're so small, it's just gonna take ages and be far more parts. So I think I'm gonna make them slightly bigger just so it doesn't cost so much. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place a bunch of these and then figure out all the colors I want, and then we can transform them into the machine. We're gonna have all colors of the rainbow. So we're gonna do, that's a bit too bright of an orange for my liking. We're gonna do red, orange, green, and blue, obviously. Here we go. And then we, obviously it would go to purple, but we're not doing purple because that is the worst color on the planet. So we're gonna do pink, and then we're gonna do an extra shade of pink too to kind of stick to my color theme. And these are gonna be our gumball kind of balls in here. You know what I really want to build? I really want to build like a play area, you know, like the kids ones. I feel like that'd be so fun. But yeah, what I'm gonna do is just transform these into the machine, and hopefully this is gonna look pretty good. So I finished kind of adding the gumballs and I think it looks really cute. However, I didn't actually do the back of it because I'm trying to save plot data, okay? So I'm just gonna make sure no one looks at the back. However, I also did a little bit of work on the kind of shelves and things. So we have these shelves at the back, and I kind of added this archway, a shelf here. I was kind of planning out where some tables could go, and I also came up with some ideas for the jars. So I made these out of cylinders, like transparent cylinders, and what I think I'm gonna do is just use these and then transform candy into them, which I think is what we're gonna do now. So to get the candy in game, obviously you need to grab a candy bowl, but there's also more candy than just this. Obviously we have like little chocolates, and we have the candy at the theater, so we have a ton of different options to kind of add in here. I just want to start getting some candy out and then slowly adding it into the jars, and I think I am gonna make some custom candy too. See, we have like bubblegum, we have kind of tiny little sour candies. There is so much in the game. I feel like people forget just how weirdly detailed Bloxburg is with the items. This is giving me flashbacks to, who remembers the glitch where you could like walk through walls if you ate the bubblegum? But yeah, I'm pretty much just gonna get some candy and then try and transform it into all of the jars, and we will see how this goes. So I added a bunch of jars onto the shelves and then very slowly added different candies onto transparent basic shape to then transform them into the jars, which took far too long. It was actually ridiculous. But once they were all full, I decided to color the shelves, and I actually went with a chocolate theme. I didn't just want to color them like a brown wood shade. I wanted to make it more creative, so I added little square tiles on the back of the shelves to make it look like it was made out of a chocolate bar, and then I did the same on the front too for some extra detail, and I really love how it turned out. Then I experimented with some wall panels. I did go rainbow themed at first to try and match the gumball machine, but I really hated how it looked, so I settled for pink instead. Obviously, no surprise there. And I actually decided to make a candy tree, so I made a rough shape for that too, plus a spot for a bigger candy machine. I want this to look like a candy packet kind of coming from the roof, and then it's gonna have these tubes that come out to kind of be like, you know, in like the M&M stores and stuff where they have the tubes and you can like pick colors of M&Ms. That's kind of what I'm going for. So I kind of want to have like tubes of different colored candy coming down from this and then maybe falling into like buckets or something, or like a big bowl. I don't really know what the bottom's gonna be. I haven't really thought that far, but I want to have the different tubes. So I'm just gonna see how many I can fit. We'll probably do the rainbow colors like the gumballs as well. Also, I really want to have a cool floor too, so I've been trying to think of like different candy that could maybe work as tiles. I might do little Oreos. That's kind of like the only one I could really think of. I did try and do the peppermint, but I didn't really like how it looked, so I think we're gonna go for kind of like a biscuit floor with some Oreos and stuff. I don't know why, but building kind of candy and like chocolate related builds I just enjoy so much. I feel like it's because I've done so many gingerbread houses houses, but every single time I have to kind of make like food-based things, I just have so much fun with it. It's like so fun to do. Okay, this is enough. I just need to kind of make them even. Also, guys, I have an update for you on the snow because I'm so devastated. So it's Wednesday afternoon right now and it did snow. However, I woke up at 7 a.m. just like naturally because the rain on the roof was so loud, and then I was like, oh no, it's quite clearly just rain. That's so annoying. So I went back to sleep, and then when I wake up at 9, I check my phone and my mom's like, are you awake? Because at like 7:30 it was properly snowing with like huge chunks, and I was so devastated I missed it. I just got a bunch of hail, so when I was awake it was just hailstoning, which was so noisy, but I missed the snow and I'm so sad. I was so excited, like I'm genuinely so annoyed. It's meant to snow tomorrow and like tonight and Friday, so hopefully I'm gonna catch some snow, but I don't know how to do the bottom of these. What should I do it kind of going into? So the actual machines don't have anything underneath. It's kind of just like a tray where you can put things in, where you can put your like cup underneath to catch the M&Ms. Do I do something like that, like a little tray, or do I do it so it falls into like little candy balls? I think this looks kind of cute, and then I also might add on the walls in some places like tubes with the candy in as well, as if it's kind of traveling through the walls. I also really want to do some candy floss and decorate this a lot, so we have a lot to do custom wise, but what I think I'm going to do now is the tree. So the idea for this is that it's kind of going to go across the ceiling and have lollipops and gumdrops and stuff on it, but I'm terrible at making trees. Like custom trees are not my thing. You know the people who do like the custom tree trunks and then they have like the infamous decal plants? That is not my build style at all. I'm with Capto. I'm on the team anti-decal plants, not because I think they look bad, but personally I just kind of prefer the style of the actual game itself. Like I'd rather use the Bloxburg plants. I kind of like building things in, I guess, like a Bloxburg style, but I also think custom builds, you know, with like all the decals and stuff, look really cool as well. Like they look stunning. I just have like a different build style, and I'm so not used to building trees. I feel like this is gonna look really weird. Okay, I'm trying to make the trunk and then we'll kind of have it going up into different branches. You know what I've been spending a lot of time doing recently is there's this mobile game, okay, called, I think it's called Offline Games, and it's the one that has like you know, like the fruit merge and stuff that was popular on TikTok for a while. So I've had that game for like a year and a bit because I used to be obsessed with that fruit thing, and I just recently got it back because I deleted it at one point, and they have this new one on there called like the nuts and bolts game or something, and I am so hooked on it. It's absolutely ridiculous. I play it on the hardest game mode, so like the hardest setting you can do, and now I'm on like level 580 or something. I literally use it all the time. It's ridiculous. Like in my defense, in my head it's better than TikTok, so instead of like mindlessly scrolling and then ruining my attention span, instead I'm using my brain and like playing a game where you have to kind of work things out like a puzzle. So it's kind of like my substitute for TikTok because I have such bad scrolling habits, but it's so fun when I play that game because obviously you get like a bunch of random ads on mobile games. There's a game that always gets like advertised, and it's this game called, I can't even remember what it's called. It's called Drop Cat or something, where it's like these cats and you have to like move them around in the boxes to get rid of them. I don't know, it's weird, but it's so cute, and I want to get that one as well. I am such a mobile game enjoyer. I feel like I've talked about this before. Me and my family have been hooked on Heyday for like 15 years or something, which is like the little farm game. We have had it for so long. We have like family neighborhood things and everything, but I just love little mobile games. It's so fun. On the topic of games as well, you know what I really miss? Moshi Monsters. They're actually bringing it back. So they did like a Kickstarter and stuff to get funding, and they're bringing it back in, I think, summer of next year, and I'm so excited. I donated to the Kickstarter. I'm gonna be so real. Like Moshi Monsters is like my favorite game ever. So I used to love Bin Weevils too, but I feel like Moshi Monsters was always the best. Oh, how am I gonna do the back of the tree? Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna try and finish the tree trunk and stuff, and I will get back to you guys when I figure this out because I feel like this is looking terrible. So I think I've kind of finished the tree. I added a lot of spheres and half spheres and like a green color to kind of add like the leaves and everything. It kind of looks like slime, I'm gonna be honest, but I think it looks okay. I didn't want it to be mega realistic because obviously it's meant to look like candy. This is kind of what I ended up with, but now what we're gonna do is add some lollipops and kind of sweets onto this. So I'm gonna grab a bunch of the large lollipop and then just kind of resize them to be the smallest they go, and then I think I might add some of the gumballs and stuff on the tree as well. But to make these transformable, what we're gonna do is just grab a transparent basic shape and make this really small, obviously, and then we can add the lollipops on top. Oh my gosh, wait, are these transformable? No, they're not. Oh my gosh, wait, I can't add them on the tree. Okay, wait, we're gonna have to DIY this. Hang on, I have an idea. If I grab the peppermint and I make this kind of maybe this big, we can add these onto the tree because obviously it's a peppermint pillow, and then we can just add a structural to look like the lollipop stick, and I feel like this works perfectly. Okay, I'm a genius. We're just gonna do it this way. So I'm gonna add these onto the different kind of areas. We'll have one here. Oh my gosh, wait, I want to have like a gingerbread peeking out of the tree. Hang on, let me steal the color from from these ones in here, resize this guy, and we can put him on the basic shape, and I can have him kind of peeking out somewhere. But he's so cute, look. So the idea is if I grab a structural, I can then add this in place for the lollipop stick, and it just kind of looks the same as the decoration like that. Oh my gosh, wait, that actually looks good. So I think I finished the tree decorations. I added a few more lollipops and some gumballs out of the machine, and then at the bottom I also added some gumdrops just to kind of decorate here, and I think it looks okay. It's kind of cute. So what we're gonna do now is I'm actually gonna try and make mini Oreos for the floor tiles. So I really want to have a cool floor in here, and I really want Oreos, but then again, obviously you'd only be able to see them from the top, so you wouldn't really be able to work out it was Oreos. I'm trying to think of like any other biscuits that would be good. You know what we could do? We could do a mixture. I'm kind of thinking Jammy Dodgers. I feel like they're a very British biscuit, but they're kind of like, they're these little round cookies that have a heart in the middle with like jam. So we could do something like that, because then you can very clearly see the design. Let me just test it out with a heart pillow. The only issue is I'm using the heart pillow for this, which is obviously a Valentine's item. So it's not in game right now, which means I can't copy and paste it, which is going to be such a pain. I would probably add detail around the outside as well. But would this be cute if we had like a Jammy Dodger floor? I don't know. I'm going to have to go and look at biscuits, aren't I? I have no idea what to do. See, that was what I was going for. We could do a bourbon, or a custard cream, because they have really pretty designs on them. Oh my gosh, or we could do it so like it alternates between a Jammy Dodger and an Oreo, so it's kind of like a checkered floor. Okay, wait, I think I want to do this. This is really cool. So I kept working on the floor, and by the way, I instantly regretted this decision because it literally took me hours. I added a structural detail on the tile around the outside, and then placed a ton of these on the floor, obviously alternating the colors. Then I had to painstakingly lower each one into the floor so it was flat, and then place down a ton of hearts, and then transform each heart onto the biscuit. Literally, why didn't I just keep it to wooden planks? Like, why did I do this to myself? Anyways, once it was done, I made it so that the wall was half the pink panels and then blue on top, as if it was like the sky. And the store was honestly looking pretty cute, but the outside was not. So it was time to tackle this too. I did have an inspiration image I found on Pinterest, but then I realized it was AI, and we hate AI on the Glossie channel, so I was very disappointed. But I did decide to actually extend the candy tree outside of the window to the front of the building, just purely because the tree trunk looks so ugly through the window. So I wanted to make it look as good as it does inside, and I didn't finish all of it, but I just kind of started the tree. I also added some cotton candy wool details on the inside that I forgot to film, and that is kind of it. Honestly, I can't remember the last thing I filmed kind of doing on this build, but I've added all these decorations to the inside walls and kind of added the bowls with the candy that it kind of falls into. I think it's looking so cute in here. It's nearly done. We're nearly there. We need to do the tables and kind of finish off the counter area and finish off the outside, and then it's finally finished. Also, these mushroom lamps look so good at the bottom of the tree, but yeah, we're pretty much nearly done. So what I'm gonna do now is just try and add the final details. Now, what I really wanted to do for the tables is basically make them look like a sweet wrapper, like a packet of sweets, very similar to what this is. So I have an idea in my mind on what I want it to look like. So back in February, I actually released some in real life merch, like a really small drop, and one of them was a keyring that was like a sweet keyring, and I kind of want to do maybe like a picture of the packet on the tables or something. I think it would be kind of cool. I'm honestly not too sure, but yeah, we're pretty much just gonna go over the final details, and then it's finally done. But guys, oh my goodness, I managed to get snow. It actually snowed. It's a couple days later now, but we got like proper snow, and it was so cool. I made a little snowman and everything, and I was so excited. Like, it's been so cold, it feels so Christmassy. Like, my entire window in my room iced up as well, and oh my gosh, I just had the great time. Okay, I'm really hoping we get more of it, especially closer to Christmas. I would genuinely do anything for like a white Christmas. That is like my absolute dream. This is what I'm going for with the tables. So I'm gonna add like a decal on top maybe, so I'm gonna leave them like this, but they're just basically meant to look like small sweet packets, and then everything else in here is kind of done, like this area. Oh my gosh, I love the tree so much. We just need to kind of do the counter, so I'll do that now. So let me get rid of a bunch of this stuff because we don't need it anymore. I want to have a few displays on the counter. Hang on, I think I'm gonna swap the register to be over in this corner, and then over here we are gonna have a chocolate fountain and a bowl of candy too. I could make the chocolate fountain pink, or maybe it could be like white chocolate like that, because I feel like if I do it brown it's gonna blend into the background too much. So maybe this is what it can look like for now. Here we go. Okay, that's kind of cute. I'm keeping it pretty simple because, okay, let's be real, I really haven't kept it simple. For someone who is trying to not use basic shapes if she could help it in this city build, I really have used them for absolutely everything. It's actually insane. Like, every store in here is so full of basic shapes, like the hair salon, the nail salon, like everything. This is definitely my favorite one though. This is my favorite video to do, but everything is just covered in basic shapes, like absolutely everything. I really completely failed this attempt, but it's fine. I think this might be my new favorite store in here though, but yeah, I'm just kind of adding final details. Also, I came up with a name, so actually, yeah, that's a good point. Let me start on the front front to get this done, but I want to call the store Gloss Sweets, okay? I couldn't think of a name that kind of was linked to Glossie and also had sweets or something in it for ages, and then that hit me, and we're just gonna use that. I'm pretty sure it's what I called the merch thing. That's probably where I've got it from, but I've just decided to keep it kind of simple and call it Gloss Sweets, and then we're gonna have like a cute little logo, of course. I was gonna ask the Discord server if they had any ideas, but we're just gonna keep it like this. So what I'm gonna do is kind of add a sign area on the front here. I'm also gonna make it look more like chocolate on the front as well, because that's why I've made the wood brown, so we can have the same chocolate theme as the counter has. I do feel like the tree looks so cool, kind of like coming out the side. There we go. That's kind of like the rough shape. I also was gonna have tables outside, but I'm not too sure if I'm going to. Oh my gosh, and I want to have a sign that kind of comes off the side, and for the sign I want to add the candy cane light, just because I really wanted an excuse to use this, so I think it looked cute kind of like hanging off this side. But there's honestly not much to do. I feel like I did quite a decent amount off camera. I kind of got a bit carried away. So what I'm gonna do now is off camera, I'm very quickly gonna finish the storefront and then add the decals and add the decals inside, and maybe a few more details around the counter area, like some lights and stuff. Oh, I haven't finished the floor, but yeah, I'm gonna get all of this done, and I will see you guys in a second for the final tour. So the candy store is finally done, and we are gonna take a look because oh my goodness, I'm actually so proud of this thing. I think this looks adorable. So here we of course have the exterior, which I kept pretty simple honestly. So we have the little tree and everything. I added some gumdrops and stuff around the bottom. I wanted to keep it kind of plain. We have the candy cane sign and the kind of chocolate on the outside, and our name, Gloss Sweets. I made a little logo for it. I'm gonna be so real. I finished this entire thing, and then I realized that when I wrote sweets, I put an A instead of a second E, so it said Gloss Sweats for a few minutes, but I made a new one, okay? Anyways, this is the exterior. I think it's super cute. I think it fits well next to the bakery as well, but we are gonna head inside, and here we have the sweet shop interior. Oh my gosh, I actually love it. So we have our candy tree, we have the lights, which I haven't actually talked about. So I love to use these kind of lights because they remind me of, you know, the like the sherbet flying saucer sweets, but also I put them in Neapolitan colors, and I think it looks kind of cool. So we have those. We have our candy dispensers, which I think are adorable. These are actually the balls from the kiln that you can get, so they're really cute. We have our beautiful gumball machine, of course. We have like our decorated walls and everything. The floor, which took me far too long to do, and then the tables, I actually had to just make them pink and plain because the decal for like the packaging wasn't working, but they're kind of cute. It's kind of simple on this wall honestly, but it's still adorable. And then of course we have the main area, the counter, which is very much made of chocolate. We have another logo. We have like a little chocolate fountain candy area, and then of course we have our shelves at the back full of all the candy. Oh my goodness, I just think it's so cute in here. Like I genuinely love it. I think this is my new favorite Los Angeles build, honestly. I can stand behind the counter here, but yeah, I just think it's so adorable. It's very colorful. This is definitely my favorite kind of view, is this wall, and then outside I just think it looks so good. But that is the Gloss Sweets candy store. That is another store on Los Angeles. We're gonna stand out here for the outro actually because I love it. But yeah, that is it for today. That is my candy store all built. I'm so glad I finally did one of these because I've wanted to do one for ages, but that is the build all complete, and I will of course see you all tomorrow for day 6 of Glossmas. And of course let me know down below what you actually think of the build. But as per usual, all my channel members will be on screen now. Thank you so much for joining my channel, and all my boosters, thank you so much for boosting the Discord server, and all my merch buyers from back in February, thank you so much for buying the merch. I love you all, and in general I love you all so much, Glossettes. Have a very merry Glossmas. XOXO Glossy Girl.